Is it tasteful? Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Mr. K didn't look at his speech at all, so, I'm not talking into the mic, pardon me. Mr. K didn't look at his speech at all, but don't expect that with me, because I'm really anxious. So I'm sitting because I couldn't stand for this. I might just drizzle down my legs, so. Well, anyway, didn't need to say that. Thank you. I know it's weird I'm sitting here, it's like a fireside chat or something, but I didn't think I'd survive standing in front of everyone. I thought the light would be a lot brighter, so I couldn't see you all. I've had nervous poops for like the last 2 weeks. You laugh, but it's true, so it's like, especially when I thought about sitting down and writing this, it just happened, never mind. I won't go into that. So I'm going to focus on the important part of this. So inspirational speaker for the class. You voted me as inspirational. I don't really, I mean, the haircut. I mean, maybe, I guess. Like, Kevin Bacon is a brave look, for sure. I don't know about inspirational. He's cute, maybe. I've been asked to address the school and to sprinkle some sage wisdom over you all. In saying this, I in no way mean to claim that my wisdom is paramount. I've done many things in the very recent past that would suggest the opposite. Have you all been introduced to Greg? He's the dinosaur tattoo on my bicep. Yeah, my tattoo artist named him. I'm going to first address the easier audience, underclassmen. I'm sure you'd like to hear something along the lines of cherish these moments, they fly by faster than a freight train, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I remember the first day of high school as if it were definitely not yesterday. Yeah, the few vivid memories that have failed to escape my mind yet include the image of my mother in her nightgown out on the front yard, snapping a picture of me while I'm frowning and raising a fist in defiance, letting one finger slip that I'm not allowed to slip on accident. I vaguely remember sleeping on the car ride to school. Don't get your license. Just make your parents chauffeur you around for life. It's just a good motto to stand by. When I hopped back into the car after the first day, I asked my mom how many days until graduation, and thus began the slow, painful countdown. Yeah. 1,500 days later, here I am. Yes, my friends, it is possible. Your best friend might become Shrek, the green Kia Soul with whom you have an ongoing love-hate relationship. You might impulsively shave your head, then let the hair grow out, and then you may very well graduate looking like Dennis Quaid's doppelganger. Not proud about it. But yes, tadpoles, the light at the end of the tunnel is tangible, if only by the very tip of your big toe. You will make it. Juniors, you're almost there. This next year will zoom by like riding a bike up 6 South. The rest of you, you're at the crest of 6 South, and you're celebrating until you realize you're only at the bottom of the field and you still have the worst part of the hill to conquer. Don't worry, you'll get there, but, well, good luck, Charlie. I had to put that in there. Okay, before you peak, there are some very important things that you need to know that don't only apply to you, but applied to those of us graduating as well. Again, just because I'm saying these things now in no way means I have mastered these skills, nor become the archetypal example of these traits and qualities. I too am working, but oftentimes not putting in the effort to become better in each aspect of the categories I'll mention. The work required to be better sometimes does feel far too great. A lot of times I too would much rather just take a nap. What counts most in these moments is the acknowledgement of the difficulty we're experiencing and our commitment to do better. Seniors. The first thing I'd like everyone to know is how difficult this piece of my talk was for me to write. After finishing the previous part, I didn't look at my Google Doc for over a week. I really don't know how to fully, properly address our class. It's difficult to write about an inspirational, idyllic high school adventure when most of that is manufactured. We have endured a unique chunk of trauma, devastation, loss, tough experience, whatever you want to call it. And to our dismay, we didn't truly address the pain in our lives until this year. 2.5 years after we lost PJ, 1.5 years after we lost Anya, and a whole 6 months after we lost Jack. We all have dealt with our grief in separate, individual ways, but now it's time to bring it back together before we scatter across the country, maybe even across the world. Underclassmen, listen to this as well, as it applies to you too. High school is over. For some of you, this might feel like the end of an era. That song, Bittersweet Symphony, might be playing on repeat in your head, and some nights in the last week, you probably cried into your pillow over the friends you'll be leaving behind. But I'm guessing the majority of you, like me, are half asleep in your chairs, wondering why graduation didn't happen the Friday we got out, like every elementary school we went to. For those of you in the last category, you might feel as if your life adventure is finally beginning and the road to greatness is clearly visible. Others might feel like your adventure is far back in your rear view. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you view it, this isn't our reality. It is my belief, as I said in this year's literary magazine, it's $10, go buy it, that the adventures in our lives are ongoing and unendingly fluid. Our greatest experiences, whether together or apart, seniors, are neither beginning nor ending, but rather, I'll say, enduring. Now we together have to step up to the plate. It's been easy for me, and I'm sure some of you in the last few years, to lay the responsibilities on those around us. That time is over. We have matured, but I question whether we've become more grounded by our trials. We didn't choose these happenings in our high school adventure, whether they be the ones I explicitly mentioned or tribulations of your own. But we can choose our actions and the outcome of our time here. There is beauty in what we have accomplished thus far. I mean, we've graduated. That's an accomplishment in itself. There is greatness in our individual strengths and our ability to overcome. But also, we graduated, so that too. We have the skills now to advance into the real world, and the clock has chimed for us to don our cloak of responsibility. It's a Harry Potter joke, and realize we have the tools in our pocket to manage all that the world throws our way. We've found community and discovered love, both for us and for others. Our resilience has been tested, but we've tasted a portion of the grace that life has to offer. Now, all of us here in the auditorium have the opportunity to move forward and continue our adventures. I'm almost done talking. Some of you might think, thank God. And we will leave here, some of us, our separate ways. This adventure we call life will continue to amaze and transform us, scare and malign us, mature and mold us. I hope some of these words I've spoken have inspired a small piece of you all to take control of this journey we're on and to partake on an experience entirely your own. I think it could be a reminder that the adventures we claim do not need to be extravagant. I often find my greatest exploits during my naps. But however creatively we live out our lives from here on out, It's now our turn to take responsibility for our thoughts, words, and actions, and to understand the consequences of how we react to our circumstances. Graduating class of 2018, please always remember, Judge is a place where teachers encouraged us to break the status quo and define ourselves as we choose. Where a jock can cook up a mean creme brulee and a brainiac can break it down on the dance floor. It's a place where one person, if it's the right person, changes us all. Judges having friends we'll keep for the rest of our lives, and that means we really are all in this together. Once a wildcat, always a wildcat. Troy Bolton.